Today, we are diving into something called the Player Character Protocol, and it's all about one really powerful idea: how to stop feeling like, a ghost in your own life and really start taking the controls. So let me ask you something and be honest. Do you ever get that feeling that you're just a spectator? Like you're sitting in the audience watching your own life play out, instead of being the one on stage actually making things happen. It's this weird sense of just kind of floating along, and that's exactly what we're going to tackle today. You know that feeling of being on the sidelines? It can be super frustrating. But to really get a handle on it, and way more importantly, to actually change it, we're going to use a framework from a place you might not expect: the world of video games. Turns out, the way games are designed gives us this perfect metaphor for understanding our own sense of control.
Okay, so this brings us right to the core concept: the player and the program. In pretty much any game, and yeah, that includes the game of life, there are two basic roles you can play. Let's break them down.
So first up, you've got the player character, or PC. If you've ever played a video game, you know exactly who this is. It's the hero, right? The protagonist. You're the one in the driver's seat, making their decisions. The PC is literally the engine of the story. They act, they choose, they push everything forward. And then you've got the non-player characters, the NPCs. These are all the other people populating the world. They're basically running on a script. They've got their set paths, their pre-written dialogue. They don't really make new choices. They just react to what you, the player character, do. They're part of the world, for sure, but they're not driving the story.
So, we've got these two roles from the gaming world. Now, let's take that metaphor and plug it straight into our own lives. This is where we can start to see the mindset that's really behind our own actions.
An NPC mindset? Well, it's all about living in reaction mode. Think about it. The alarm goes off, you react, you hit snooze. You get a stressful email, you react with anxiety. You're basically following a daily program, just running on autopilot without much conscious, intentional thought. You're letting the world push your buttons.
But a player character mindset? That's a whole different ballgame. A PC doesn't just react, they act. They make a conscious choice. So instead of just whacking the snooze button, they choose to get up. Instead of just reacting to that email, they choose how they're going to respond. They're the ones deciding the next move, not just waiting for the world to give them a prompt.
And this right here, this breaks down that core difference perfectly. Over on the left, you see the player character's world. It's about discipline. It's choosing your own quest, acting with real intention, and taking control of your own story. And on the right, that's the NPC mindset. It's undisciplined. It's just following a script, reacting to whatever happens and, well, living on autopilot. Kind of like a background character.
Now, this is so important because it's incredibly empowering. This isn't about some natural talent you either have or you don't. The difference between being a PC and an NPC isn't about your potential, it's about your agency. It all comes down to one simple conscious choice to just take control. Okay, so if some of this NPC stuff is hitting a little close to home, the big question is, how do you make the shift, right? How do you actually pick up the controller and start playing your own game? Let's get into it.
And here's the really good news. This isn't about some massive, life-altering change you have to make overnight. No way. It all starts with one small move. First, just start paying attention. Recognize those scripted behaviors. Is it the mindless social media scroll or always saying yes to things you don't want to do? Second, pick just one of those things, one choice you can make differently. And then, step 3, this is the magic. You actually take that action. That single conscious move is how this whole thing begins.
Because this entire metaphor, this whole idea, it's all built on one fundamental truth. This is not a game you're just watching from the sidelines. Whether you feel like it right now or not, you are the main character. You are the protagonist of your own life story.
And so, that leaves us with one last question. The game is loaded up, the controller is in your hands. So, what's your first move, player one?